So as an artist in your practice, what do you hope for? What do you expect from a residency?
I haven't done too many residencies so far. This is kind of the first most intense one where I've kind of gone somewhere for an entire week to really focus on such a task. But I guess my outlook on it coming into it was like I don't really expect anything in particular. I kind of expect to find what that thing is once I get there, and just I guess I usually spend this week I've spent most of my time just figuring out exactly what that is, more so than anything in particular. Just ideas seems to be more so ideas and inspiration to bring back from it. Yeah, which is it worked out really well. Yeah,
Cool.
I think I've more or less found that.
When I go on a residency, I expect I'm going to write the great Australian novel, the great Australian play, an era-defining album, and probably not eat very well.
I guess just the time and change of scenery. Yeah, and just sort of an opportunity to think in a different way, in a different place. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Having time out from normal demands, just to focus on the practice. And also, I mean, here, I suppose, it's quite specific location-wise. So thinking about our work in relation to this place. Yeah.
Having the space that's not, the room that you sleep and work from home in and relax and stuff in, that is really profound. And I think also for me, like, connection to a natural space is like very, 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 like, key to what I would love in a residency.
Yeah, I think, I echo what Meg is saying, and it really is just the space to play and breathe and relax and be nourished by what the environment is offering you, whether it is, I guess, a residency inside a city or if it is outside of a city. Like, each place is going to influence you in some way, so it is, for me in my practice, like, responding to what is given to me.
Have you responded in a satisfying way to the environment, to the location?
Hopefully. Well, it's always complicated. I think you get here and you start working, and
it sort of evolves in situ, really. Don't necessarily do what you think you're going to do when you come, but that's good too.
Something else happens, I think.
Is that the complicated part?
I think so, yeah. And then it's just, it's such a short, we've been here not even a week yet, so it's a short amount of time. And then, I think with my practice, I sort of need time to reflect on that. I'm just sort of filming here, and then we'll need time to reflect on where the work's kind of going and what's happening in the work as well.
Found out about other people's art, which I also maybe wasn't prepared for, and some of that's challenging, troubling. What's that other word that means affirming? Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
We've really broken ground with this idea in this space. It's like the first time we've actually physicalized it in a space, and I think we don't even know yet. We might not even know until we've made the thing, which we don't know when that will be fully realized. But I think it would be a very different work if we had broken ground on this idea in the city versus where we are now, which is an intensely wild space. Just like the sensory palette that is influencing our work right now is so specific and yeah, I think will be influencing like every decision we come to make in the work, which is really special.
Yeah. And I guess like as well, you know, we're trying not to make any concrete choices during the residency at this stage because we've spoken about slow time and just like really having this time to really breathe into it and explore it fully, rather than making choices that, you know, maybe later down the track we're not going to be as comfortable with. So that's just the space of the residency. And then on the last day we're planning on making some kind of choices around, Meg brought this structure called question anchor structure, and hopefully bring that out and then write the thing later rather than here, and actually just be really informed artistically.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, which I feel like a residency can really give you that, you know, you can move a bit slower, which adds more cohesion and smoothness to the art making process, which then means that you get a fluency in making choices about your work further down the track.
What's been the most challenging element of this week?
The flies.
Yeah, for me, the mosquitoes at night. Yeah.
Yeah, the flies have been quite intense.
Although there's some, yes, the insect life in general is very wild, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen things that I never didn't even know existed.
On the
Cool.
plus side though, there's all the beautiful animals that, you come like right in and like hang out. So.
Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Any other challenges?
I suppose a week, just having it for a week, because I've always done longer residencies in the past. But I think it's quite good. It makes you work in different ways, yeah. Or like think about being here differently, like without a kind of expectation that you're going to resolve anything necessarily while you're here.
Yeah. Felt quite free just to sort of start filming and see what happens. Yeah.
I think the most challenging aspect for me is that I've become very city slickerized. So, like, I mean, probably not if someone were watching this from Europe or the big cities of North America and Asia. But anyhow, but for here in Australia, I feel like a real city slicker. And coming here specifically to this particular residency, actually a little bit of culture shock about being so far away from all of the satanic mills, the satanic mills and the smog, all the creature comforts.
Challenging part has been kind of figuring out what exactly it is I'm going to bring home out of it, because it's so many ideas and so many things that I've managed to come up with to bring back home. But then once I get home, it's going to be if I can continue that and what I'm going to do with those things, and really just kind of thinking about, is it really kind of telling myself that I have made the most of this and I have done what I've wanted to do, or convincing myself that I have when really there isn't anything in particular that needs to be achieved by being here. And I think the challenge, so I guess my main challenge is just kind of like telling myself that being here has helped and will help.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I hope that's
Cool.
Well, I really don't like ticks. I'm having a really kind of nervous response to stepping outside and being eaten by ticks. That's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
The environment.
The
A
environment.
gift and
It's,
a
you know,
challenge.
Yeah, it's a gift and also very uninviting sometimes.
I think my biggest challenge is finding the balance between just like playing out there and like making and or doing work that not being like hard on myself if we're not, you know, making tangible, quantifiable, sellable things, you know. You know, like, do we sit down and write this afternoon or do we go for a walk? It's like both things could be as important for the work.
Is there something that's like jumps out as something easily positive or something easily satisfying?
About just being here.
Yeah, the
you
week.
know? I think I've very, very much connected with the nature side of things out here. I've kind of grown really fond and become really obsessed with just exploring the sounds and the wildlife in ways that I never really even realised or thought of before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've spent a really large amount of time this week just exploring and wandering and I guess discovering. Just becoming really fixated on things like the bark on trees or like the way like the calls of animals at specific times of day and night and things like that. And just really, really using that to help me creatively in ways that I never really thought I would have. So they've been really huge inspirations and motivators. It's just like the nature and wildlife around us.
Yeah, the most satisfying. Is that
Yeah.
a question? What's the most satisfying thing? A couple of mornings ago, I came outside and there were hundreds of butterflies on the ground. Hundreds, just a carpet of them. And the groundskeeper said that it's a 3-week window each year when these two types of butterflies, orange and black, and the cream-coloured ones, when they come here and then they're gone. So we just happen to be here in this moment that happens once a year. So I would say if anyone is applying for a residency here at Bundanon, you know, you do want to be here at exactly this time. I'm sure the other times are fine, but no butterflies.
So middle of November.
Middle of
Just
November,
to clarify.
you want to be here for the butterflies.
Okay.
Something that we're talking about and floated a little bit in the space is, you know, how do you rewild a childhood? You know, and like in this, or like rewild our own, like, you know, there's amazing principles about rewilding environments at the moment, but how can we like apply those principles to human and non-human life? And I think I would say rewilding life is very much about like, you know, buoying up and re-energizing the imagination, and I think that a residency is like the perfect space to do that.